if you're a youth sports parent, how can you justify the extremely high cost of paying for youth sports? So I've gotten a bunch of questions and emails and comments about videos that I've made talking about youth sports and how your kid should push the cart and how you really shouldn't be looking for this big payoff, that playing D1 is not going to change your kid's life, that turning pro is not going to change your kid's life. Part of the reason for that is obvious. These big financial windfalls happen for a fraction of players, a very small fraction. Even with the new NIL money coming, there's not going to be life-changing money. I have a lot of teammates who played in the major leagues. They did not get life-changing money. They got maybe a minimum salary for a year, made $500,000. Half that goes to taxes. A lot of it gets eaten up in the lifestyle, and then they're spit out in the real world like anyone else with a couple $100,000 in the bank, and that's good, but it's not life-changing. And that even is the most rare of all athletes to get to that level. So if you're struggling with why you're spending all this money on youth sports, especially if your kid maybe doesn't work as hard as you wish them to, let's talk about some of those issues. So number one, what you're paying for is memories, it's togetherness, it's the feelings that they'll take home from their sports, it's them being challenged, growing as a person, and enjoying the competitive juices that flow when you play sports. I deeply loved baseball because I wanted to go out there and swing a bat, throw a ball, run around. Those core actions just made me deeply happy. They still do as a 38-year-old. I play slow pitch softball now at a very low rec level. I just want to play shortstop, make fun throws across the infield, maybe hit a bomb, catch a fly ball on the run in left field. And even if they hit it over my head, I like that I get to sprint after it and then make a laser of a throw to the cutoff man. I literally like every little action about baseball. And that's how I was as a kid. So for my parents to spend money on it so that I could go do that just made me happy every day. And I was optimistic about my future that I got to keep doing it. And when it got really hard, I was willing to work at it. I got Tommy John surgery twice. That was a testament to how much I just loved doing that thing. So as a parent, if you're saying, well, my kid doesn't work as hard as I think they should, they only practice a little bit, they want to play video games, they want to do this other stuff, you also have to come to terms with the fact that your kid probably doesn't really love baseball. The way I just described loving baseball is not normal. It's not the way most athletes appreciate the game, baseball or softball or any other sport. And I know because I've coached them, I've watched them with these habits. And I could say on any of the teams that I coached and any of the kids in my academy, only a tiny percentage, maybe 1 out of 30, loved the game as much as I did. And that's partly because love is, in a lot of ways, a verb. It's an action. It's not just how you feel about someone, it's how you treat that person. It's not just how I felt about baseball, it's how I treated my practice habits and my role in maintaining my skill of the game. I love baseball so much that I was willing to really suffer to continue to be allowed to play it. And that, to me, is what love looks like, right? So I think as a parent, when you're asking yourself, is this investment worth it? There's definitely a sliding scale. If you're paying $10,000 a month for your kid to pay on some insane travel team where they're only like a quarter of the way in and not very committed and not that interested, then no, it's probably not worth that expense. And so you have to find out what that balance is, what that number might be. But I don't think nagging your kid, pushing your kid to go begrudgingly practice more so that they get their practice levels commensurate with the dollars spent, I don't think that's a winning combination, because ultimately what it'll probably do is make it feel like a job and they'll end up quitting. And then your investment is gone anyway, because now they're getting less years of fun with their friends in the sun, fun challenging themselves, fun being nervous, fun dealing with pressure, fun learning from good coaches and bad, and all those things that you do take from sports. You learn so much about your person and you grow so much as a person because of all the hardship that it takes to be consistently competitive. So as a parent, just consider the money you spent gone. Be happy that your kid's still involved in it, because kids quit faster than ever, and do your best to make it fun. And if you do that, they're going to stick with it as long as you can. And they're going to look back on it and say the payoff of my sports career, however long it was that I have really great memories with my parents in attendance, driving to games with my buddies in the dugout, competing and getting that rush of adrenaline. When I look back at my sports career, it was a really happy time in my life. And I'm really thankful that my parents provided me with that. That is the ultimate goal. That is what you're hopefully getting for your dollars as a youth sports parent.